So if you've made it this far, you have either completed level 1 of Bulerias Explained, in which case congratulations, or you think you know it all and you're ready to move on to more complicated stuff. And I hope you're right. The last thing we did in level 1 was look at a pattern for the right hand for Bulerias that's so important that we're going to start level 2 looking at the exact same pattern. It's really that important. What I call the Patata pattern, because of how my friend once sang it, patata, 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 patata. This right hand pattern is so central to really everything we do in Buleria that I am going to encourage you to watch it again. If you watched it twice, watch it 2 more times. Spend as much time as you possibly can with this right hand pattern before you get into the rest of level 2. We're going to look at a ton of variations, right? And the variations, if you've gone through level 1, you'll know that we're kind of looking at ways to start the compás and ways to end the compás. And the variations that we're going to look at in this level are all just more variations of the same thing. So the better you have a feel of the basic right hand pattern, the easier it is going to be for you to take little parts of the compás and change them, right? To replace, you know, da 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 with for example. All these things that make the Bulerías so interesting and give you so many options. To really have control over them, you have to have your infrastructure in place. Spend as much time as you can here. If you have any doubts, if you're not quite feeling it, just stay. Get this right before moving on, because this will make everything else feel easier when we start talking about now we're going to start on 1 instead of starting on 12, and we're going to start on 7, we're going to start on 6, we're going to do all these variations for the second half. They're all just going to feel so much easier if the patata pattern is really under control. So the basic right hand pattern is 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1, right? Then we're back to 12. So what am I doing? As usual, I'm doing down strokes on the accent. So I'm doing 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. It's what happens in between the accents that's a little tricky and interesting. So 12 and, right? That beat gets 2 notes, 12 and, because it's an accent. So 12 and. Now, what I'm going to do now is sort of a training wheel thing, just so you can see where we are. I'm going to add some golpes that I don't necessarily play when I'm doing this for real. But the downbeats are 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and. So one of the things you might have noticed is that the and of every single beat gets played. I don't miss the upstroke, the upbeat of anything. I only do the downbeat of the accents. So again, with the golpes, just to sort of really be clear on this, it's 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and around we go. If I take out the golpes, I get 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12. This is sort of the key to everything, as far as I'm concerned, for Buleria. Really having 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3, 6, 8, 10. So after a while, you're going to build the upstrokes in to the point that you don't have to think about them and you don't have to count every one. That's going to take a minute. Don't assume that you should be able to do that instantly because I said so. You're going to have to work until you get there. But the goal is to not think 12 and 1 and 2 and 3, but just think 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. Boom, ba, da, da, da. Like with the other stuff, I want you to hear the first half, da, 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 and the second half, right? Da-ga, da-da-ga, da-da-ga, right? 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. So you can do that with compás just so you can hear it for a minute in its abstract form. 12, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. Now, I want to point out that I have some right hand ticks that are just personal. I throw some golpes in, right? I don't do 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. I don't put all of them in, but very often I'll do, I might throw golpes in here and there. So if you see those there, that's just a personal preference thing. I would say the first thing I want you to learn is just to do it without golpes, just to have control over that. Later on, if you want to add some golpes, you're totally free to do that. We're going to take the same chord changes that we did for our 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to take those three patterns. Left hand is going to do the same thing. The right hand is going to do our new pattern. So we're going to have 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. But I really encourage you to do one at a time until they really feel under control. So let's look at these with compás. I'm just going to play each one a couple times in a row before moving on to the next, and then I'll alternate the three of them. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 3, 6, 8, 10. Without the C. 12. Quick little technical detail here. If you've watched my videos about rasgueados, you'll see that I always recommend to have the thumb bent here, right? And as far as I'm concerned, down up with the index is a rasgueado. And one of the reasons you really want your thumb bent here is quite simply that when we're doing 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the root is on the 5th string, right? So if my hand is here and my thumb is straight, I'm not going to hear the 5th string. I'm going to have this thin sounding thing. If I bring my hand up, I bend my thumb so that now I can hit the 5th string, then I can hear, right? And one of the exercises that I recommend if you're not sure you're hitting the 5th string is to perch your thumb on the 6th string, mute the top 4 strings. So the only string that can ring right now is the 5th. And make sure that you're actually hitting that string, because that way these chords are just more powerful than if you didn't hear the roots. So one variation of the patata pattern that I do very often does have a few golpes in it, and it goes like this: 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So you can combine that with one variation that you might also want to learn if you like the way that sounds. It's a thing that I do quite often. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to combine those 7, 8, 9, 10 phrases that we learned before with parts of this right hand pattern. So for now we will do 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and then 7, 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So really we're just doing the first half of the pattern, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So let's see what that would sound like. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if we add our little turnaround where it's appropriate, it gets a little clumsy to try to go directly from into 3, right? So a more common way to deal with that would be 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Right, so 10, 11, 12, and 1, 2, 3. Right, it's just very traditional and common to get those golpes in there after. So in this case, we're really only using a little bit of this patata right hand pattern, right? Because we're coming out of 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, and 9, and 10, 11, 12, right? So again, one of the reasons it's so important to really have control over 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 over these patterns is that sometimes you're just going to be using a tiny bit of them and you're changing everything around it, but it grounds you, it centers you, it kind of tells you exactly where you are in the compás, so you're never lost. You're always coming back to a really familiar thing that you've trained enough that it just feels like second nature. And that's one of the reasons that I'm going to really recommend that you drill everything that I stop and play, all of these examples, you should spend hours with until they just feel completely natural, because that's how you get the sense of the compás really in your body, right? Me talking about it for a couple hours and you listening is a good start, but it's not going to get you there. You got to really take every new thing and work it until it just feels really natural and you're sure you're right. And then you're ready to move on to the next thing. So let's move on to the next thing. We can take this idea, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We did this before with 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. So really, because everything else is changing, again, now we're really just taking 12 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3. All we're really changing is 12 to 3 here, but it still grooves a little differently because we're doing da 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 da. Right, that feels different than right. This, to be honest, sounds a little old-fashioned now. This swings a little bit more and it's a little more contemporary. That doesn't mean that one's better than the other, but you do kind of want to be aware that this has kind of a traditional old school feel, whereas this doesn't. And I really do recommend that you get full control of both of them. You want to be able to have either one sort of form the basis of your infrastructure of your compás so that you always know where you are. So now we're going to look at a variation of 10, 11, 12, another variation.